the movie maintains the core and the integrity of the play. The play, what I loved about it was it already had the engine, the mechanism of a thriller. So the way it reveals information and subverts your expectations. So it was really about, you know, there's a way I learned about talking about these things where you expand something vertically and horizontally. And horizontally is you're adding more plot, you're adding more characters, you're just expanding the telling of the tale. But then vertically is taking those themes and making them a little bit more expansive. And that's what we try to do with the movie. But look, it all started with the beauty of the play that J.C. created.
Kept the tension of a theatrical psychological drama, kept that and expanded it, which is beautiful.
Exactly.
Thank you. I'm glad you brought up Harriet's sister, JC. That was a moment that was very jarring for a variety of reasons. One, because we're dealing with a mental health person of color, which that is not spoken about in that area at all. And we're also dealing with someone who is really gone. In that scene where she's taken her clothes off in the school, that was just, it broke my heart, but it was so necessary, I felt like. What made you guys decide to show that in all its ugliness?
You look, there's a truth to the world we live in. And it's often you see stories that explore issues of race and identity and class, and they want to tell us the version of the story, which I understand sometimes, that reassures us and makes us feel comfortable and makes us feel safe. But in my mind, I think that's disingenuous to the truth that so many people live. We have issues of mental health in communities of color that are not addressed because of the fact that there's limited access. And especially when you think about Harriet's relationship with her sister, Harriet in some ways is like Luce. She represents that version of rising above where you came from. But there's also those who don't all get that opportunity, right? If there's one Barack Obama, what about everybody else? And often when we take a symbol of success and make that the barometer by which everybody should live by, we forget the fact that there's so many who are left behind. So for me, having the sister in the movie and seeing what Harriet is negotiating, you get a sense of her vulnerability, you get a sense of her pain, you get a sense of everything she's trying to leave behind, but you also are challenged to not forget what is left behind. And in that school, in that scene, she's vulnerable. Everything that she thinks that she's projecting and she is comes back. And you know, it's something that when you look at the duality between them and then also between Luce and Deshawn, I think it tells you a lot about the difficult, raw, complicated situation that we're in right now, especially in marginalized communities.
JC, you were going to say something?
I want to echo everything that Julia said. I also think, like,